Thank you once again for checking in on us. This is the Die Is Cast. I am your host, the wonderful Dalton Die. How is everybody doing today? I've had a pretty eventful weekend, actually, finally, in my life filled with doldrum and just dadhood and just general boredom. I managed to get a couple things done that I don't normally do. I went fishing this weekend. I'm not a fish guy. I'm not a fisherman. I'm not a fisher of men. I'm not a Christian fisherman. I'm not a Forrest Gump shrimp fisherman. Normally when people ask me if I want to go fishing, I'm like, oh, fuck no. I'd rather watch flies fuck. But when my buddy asked me if I wanted to go, I was like, yeah, they were going to go on the Gulf Coast. And I was like, you know what? I rarely get the opportunity to go to the Gulf Coast, so fuck yeah, this will be fun. And he was gung-ho about it, so I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm excited. Let's go. And then day of, we had to cancel on the Gulf because the hurricane just came through last weekend. And kind of fucked that up. So that was no-go. That was no man's land over there. They had a bunch of flooding and all kinds of shit. And all hearts and the hearts of ours go out. And obviously our minds, thoughts with the victims. And I don't know anybody that got fucked up. I know a couple people got their vacation homes fucked up. But still sucks. That's still money invested. Gone. Nah, that sucks. But if it was me, I'd be crying like a fucking baby. I wasted so much time. They said I should invest, and so I did. And now it's gone. So don't let me talk shit about that. But yeah. So the hurricane came through, kind of fucked up the whole West Coast. Yeah, West Coast. The whole fucking West Side got fucked up. Really up in the armpit around the Big Bend area, which I work up there, so I got to deal with shit that I got to check on this week because they might have got fucked up because the hurricane came right through there, fucking hammered their ass. They were boarding up on Thursday last week, or the hurricane kind of came through Thursday, Friday, so Wednesday we went out there and hit them one last time before the good Lord came through and wiped them out. We wanted to go in there and, cash one more check, get them for every last dollar they got before the good Lord took them out. But they're most likely fine. This ain't their first hurricane. The one last year, maybe the one before that, Ian, kind of came through the same spot. And, no, Ian came through here. That's right, because it knocked over my tree. But there was a hurricane that came through Big Bend. Maybe that was last year, maybe the year before, maybe the year before that. I don't know. There's a hurricane every year. But, so yeah, we couldn't go over there. So that got canceled. So we had to go to east side and over the Tupac side of the state. And over to Cocoa Beach, which is over where Cape Canaveral is, and Kennedy Space Center, which I'm always talking about, or at least I've hinted at a few times. Which, you know me, I'm always hopping on about. Or I've mentioned it maybe twice in the 24 episode run. This will be episode 23 maybe. I don't know. I've got a couple on the backup. I'll talk about that later. I got a couple episodes in backup that, I don't know. I think I've been going through a depression lately or something. Something's not right with me. But anyways. So we went out to Cocoa Beach, Jetty Park there, and we were bitching at first when we first got there because you got to pay to get in. I was like, oh, what the fuck? I thought we was going to a free spot. Well, it's this bullshit. And it was a really weird setup. You'd pull up to the front gate, to the front lady, and instead of paying her, she'll give you a whole spiel and then go, hey, but actually, you got to turn around and go back to that sign there and scan the QR code, pay on your phone, then bring that back to me, and I'll let you in. It's like, what? Okay. So we circled around like that famous police chase about 15 times around there. Like, wait, hold on. What sign is it? What the fuck? And then it was like, because it was like, if you haven't checked in, check in over there. And so then you'd follow it around. And then we learned that check in over there meant the very next sign that had a QR code at the bottom of it. I thought it was like over there. So we're looking to the left in the next parking lot over or like around the little bend. Like, what? But no, it was an arrow that should have said like, right there, because it was talking about something 3 inches over. But anyways, so we got in with that old fucking weird system. Why even have somebody there? Why not just have something that I scan? Once I've paid on my phone, I go up there, like a parking garage, I scan that. I mean, I don't mean to take somebody's job, but Jesus Christ, how much are we paying this lady to tell people to go back and do it again? Well, hell, how about you just have it where I just pull up and pay right there with my phone? Bing, bang, boom. I'm sure they've thought of these things. But maybe the Jetty's not getting business like that. To be able to... But, well, shit. And what's the hourly rate on that lady? It's got to be at least 15 an hour probably, right? Maybe 12. I think minimum wage is going up to 15 around here. But anyways, point is, I'm sure they're making the smartest choice they can. But so we went there, paid, got in, and it was cool. It was a nice little area. There was nobody there. It was just us and one other fisherman that might have been there before us. But we got to see the sunrise coming up over there, over the east where the sun rises, you know. And it was nice. And then about halfway through the day, people started showing up, like, en masse. I was like, yo, what the fuck? And the whole time there was a thing across the lake that said, like, rocket launch. And I realized I'm a fucking idiot. Because all I kept seeing on the sign was September 24 rocket launch from 11 to 2. Something will be closed. Coast Guard enforced. Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, September 24th. Ah, fuck, that was 4 days ago. We missed it. False alarm. But then, I don't know. Then as people started showing up, I was like, hold on now. Let me look at this again. And I looked over at it, and it said 28 September 24. It's giving the year that we are currently in. And so, yeah, people started showing up like crazy, and there was a fuckload of people there. And then that was really what tipped me off first was people started showing up with these big professional cameras. And I was like, yo, I mean, I know I look good, but goddamn, who put the word out? I didn't tell nobody I was coming here. And so then I figured it out. Then I looked on my phone and went on to SpaceX at their Twitter or X, and SpaceX on their X. And I went to SpaceX's X. And, yeah, so we got to see a rocket launch. That one that went up there to catch those two Boeing guys that got fucked, that are fucking Operation Fucksville up there. Well, actually, they're not, but they could have been. Sorry, I got to clear out my throat. I should have done the pre-show vocal warm-up. Me, 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 me. Lion, 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 or whatever the fuck. Ow now, brown cow. The arsonist had oddly shaped feet. But, so anyways, rocket launch. So, yeah, the rocket launch was there, and they're going to get those two astronauts that got stranded up there by Boeing. God, they're having a real fucking go of it, aren't they? Old Boeing. They can't catch a break, man. Hey, well, maybe, maybe we could focus on our space division. You know, the plane thing seems to be kind of falling apart. We did just get fined $4 billion, nearly. Nearly 400 million, not even as much as Trump, for being found liable for their planes crashing into the fucking ground and exploding and burning humans alive. They got 350 million, but old Trump dog, he gets $500 million. But anyways, I digress. So they give Boeing that little slap on the wrist, and Boeing gets to keep on working. But anyways, so they might think, well, maybe we could focus on our space efforts. Nah, it's not looking good there either. I mean, who knows? 20 years from now, Boeing might be like the space company and be like, can you believe it? Back in 2023, it looked like they were Dunsville. But they've had about 17 lawsuits since then, and they've had to pay, maybe like $1 billion total, because they were found liable in the deaths of hundreds of people. The sadness and despair of hundreds of families around the country, they were found to be criminally liable. But anyways, we're not going to worry about that. I'm sure every plane company's got at least a few, weird cases going on. And when you get to be that level of a plane company, I mean, I'm sure they're getting reports all day of things going wrong, and it's like Fight Club. So you got to do a little math equation, what's the formula, If the amount of lawsuits supersedes the cost of a recall, then they do it. But if it doesn't, they don't do one. They just keep settling it out of court. Oh, yeah, sorry, did our car blow up? Sorry, did our plane door fly off? Oh, sorry, did our plane say it was 1,000 feet above the ground when it was in the ground? My bad. So, anyways, yeah, Boeing's having a tough go of it. So, we were there at the beach, and they launched to go get them, which I thought they were going up till February, which was like, God damn, this really is like a movie, man. Like, we're not going to be able to get up there for 6 months. You boys are going to have to find some way to make... You're going to have to find a bunch of way to fit, like, square boxes and circle hoses and shit. A bunch of Apollo 13 stuff. Which I think they've got, like, supplies up there for, like, a year if they needed to. But, still, it's kind of like, whoa, that's crazy. We got astronauts stranded up there. What the fuck is this? What is this, Armageddon? But they went and got them. Or they're going up there to get them right now. And I heard they kicked 2 astronauts off the rotation. Which, those astronauts, there's got to be a part of them that's like, you fucking idiots. God damn it. You gotta build a piece of shit fucking spacecraft. And now they can't come back. And we gotta get kicked out of the way. And, oh, we swear you're in the rotation, maybe. You're flight legible again. Fucker. Why the fuck can't you build a goddamn rocket that just comes back? Why the fuck do you even send it up there? Why didn't we send 15 Boeing spacecrafts up there and back with nothing on them first? Before we fucking sent 2 astronauts up there. 2 civilian-nauts. 2 civilian astronauts. But, anyways, so you know they're pissed. That's gotta suck. Because think about it. They've worked their entire life to be an astronaut. Maybe not. Maybe just... No, they have. They for sure have. Because you gotta go to school, and you gotta get into, like, hardcore physics, engineering, blah, 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 medicine, whatever the fuck. Whatever the fuck they're doing up there. Botany. Astrobotany. I don't know. Cosmobotany. But, so yeah, they've been training for this forever, and then finally, woo, dog, less than a year to go, you're gonna be on the launch. You're gonna be on a launch. And then fucking, and you know they were scared when this first started happening. They were like, we gotta leave the astronauts up there. And they probably got the call like, nah, we're not gonna be able to get them till February. And they're like, yes, fuck yeah, we're still on. We're still on. All right, we didn't lose nothing. Still going up, baby. And then fucking probably like a week ago, they got the call. Like, probably like that guy on Apollo 13 that got the measles call. Like, what? No, I mean, yay. I guess that's good that I'm not going to spread measles, but fuck! You know? Like, I bet these guys were like, oh, yay, we're going to save them? That's great. That's just so glad, and I'm not bitter at all. I'm 100% excited and just so grateful for the opportunity to maybe get to do this again. We'll see. You know, they make these lists of who's going up like years in advance, but whatever. Who knows? Maybe somebody else will get stranded and I'll have to... Maybe I'll go up next. No, that won't make sense. But, so anyways. So they got the astronauts up there and they're going up there to get them. And the people we were there with, it was kind of funny. All the guys I was there with, I guess just weren't paying attention or I didn't make it clear enough to them. But they were like 10 minutes beforehand. They're like, hey, what's going on? Is the launch today? And I was like, yeah, it's in like 5 minutes. And they're like, oh, shit. Let's put our poles down. And we all watched the rocket launch and then come back. And fuck, man. When that thing takes off, and for 30 seconds, it's silent. You don't hear anything. And the guy was like, he was like, how come I can't hear it? And I was like, don't worry, you will, man. And then like another 10 seconds went by. And he's like, damn, those are quiet. And I was like, no, I'm telling you, man, it's a little ways away taking off. Trust me, it's coming. And then, and it slowly builds and slowly builds. And you can definitely hear when like the rockets like launch, you know, there's like that 2 second like pre-launch, like you hear all the things kick on and then take off. Ugh, gets my dick hard, boy. I'm telling you what, it gets my dick hard, man. Because the ground shakes, you can feel it. Oh, just that loud rumble like a thunder coming over. You know when you hear a thunder, you can hear the thunder coming. Like, you know, from a distance, you hear it like, you get louder and you can hear it like pass through the clouds as it goes past you. It was like that, but then it goes on for like 5, you know, maybe 2 straight minutes when that thing's going up. There, I got better with it. And, I just love it, dude. And then you wait about 5 minutes and everybody's just kind of standing around like assholes looking at each other. You're looking at all the other people. And then finally, and you only get like a 5-second warning. I had to watch it on X. I got to watch the live stream. And because then it just pierces through the clouds. There's a little cloudy out, but not too bad. And then it's just boom, and it lands. And you're like, oh, wow. And I had forgot that you get a sonic boom from that. So I'm like, oh, there it is. Yeah, you know, the rockets, they like, boom! It was like it fucking blew me back, man. That sound when those rockets kick back on. Oh, it's so fucking cool, and it's like primal. I don't know what it is. It makes every fucking fiber. It's like I get this like adrenaline rush like a little kid again. Like, oh my, yeah. The only other time that I got like that kind of adrenaline rush was at Daytona 500. Which I know NASCAR's boring. Like, what the fuck? They're just driving around in a circle. Turn left, turn left, turn left. I know. But when you're there, And especially at the infield. I don't know. I've never been in the bleachers. That's probably boring as shit, too. But we were there at turn 4, which is right where old Dale died. And they were actually there the year before when Dale did that. That's how long ago this was. I'm fucking old. And, or 2 years before I was there. And anyway, point is, man, when those cars go around the track, it's so loud from those engines. And you can feel it, man. You can hear them the whole way around the track, for one. But when they come down that back straightaway, the ground starts rumbling as they get closer. And then as they fly by, and when they all drive by, even in the infield, not even like right up on the line, on the fence, it's just like, you know what I mean? It's like the wind of just all of them flying by, and you just feel like the van that you're standing on, everybody's standing on vans. And you're like, oh, it's just, I don't know. It's just like man fuel. It's like man boner fuel. And the rocket launch is the same thing, man. It just shakes the ground. It's such a fucking gargantuan, massive amount of fucking engineering and thrust and fucking, it's just incredible that we even do it. And primitive when you consider like sci-fi where it could be. It's like, God, we just light this shit on fire and control the explosion out the ass end of this thing to make sure, as we go up. But in comparison to what everybody else does and what all the other animals are doing, damn, is it fucking awesome. It's just so... You guys might not be able to hear that, but when the thunder rolls and the lightning strikes... I don't think I can get... Can you get electrocuted from headphones? I don't think so. We'll find out, damn it. I'm not giving up. So, yeah, they're just so big, and it was a Falcon 9, just regular Falcon 9 single rocket. It wasn't the Heavy 3 or the Starship booster, which they're only launching those from Texas, but it wasn't any of those, so it was still cool. I was trying to tell them, like, yo, when I brought the girls out here to see the Falcon Heavy, that thing was cool, because it's louder, more powerful, and when they come, boom, you got the 2 rockets coming back. I mean, I don't know. You sound dumb sometimes when you're trying to tell people how cool it is, because you're just like, oh, it goes up, and then it comes down, and then but when it goes up, it's like, but then when it comes down, it's like, it's really cool, you know? So I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know the actual physics involved. I just know that there's a lot of physics involved, and what they're able to do to get those things back to land is pretty incredible. I heard it's like trying to land a pencil on a... I don't know. Never mind. That doesn't make any fucking sense. I was mixing up 2 different stories I'd heard. I was mixing up the story when astronauts from the Apollo mission said that when they take off, it looks like it's a solid going up, but that it's constantly adjusting for the, shifting forces and everything as it's trying to take off. It's wanting to kick out in all these different directions, and so it's compensating for that as it goes up. And he said it feels more like when you're trying to balance a pencil. It feels like the way it feels when you're at the tip of the spacecraft is like you're at the tip of this, like, whoa, moving thing. Even though from our perspective, it's like, I don't know. I got some cool shots that I shared. I didn't get as cool one as I wanted to. I tried to set the camera up so that I was sitting there watching it as you saw it take off. But it was further away from where we were than I thought. And it was also further to the left. So I sat there and the rocket starts taking off and I was like, oh, it's over there. Fuck! And I had to run back, get the camera and change it. But anyways, I was talking about that on one of the first episodes on here that I wanted to get out there to see another rocket launch recently from right there. And so I'm glad I got to do that. And it was completely by fucking chance. We just happened to be out there, man. Fishing. And fuck, I suck at fishing. I'll tell you what. It was after the first there was an hour of fishing where I was like, yo, fuck this. This is fucking bullshit. Boring. And it was starting to get hot first thing, so I was like, ugh. What the fuck are we doing? Why does anyone do that? And then I caught a fish. And it was like, all right. This is pretty cool. And that fueled me for 3-4 hours of okay, no, it's cool. And then after my shirt got a little bit soaked in sweat, and then the breeze would roll by, and then you'd feel cool. Then because I'm wearing a long sleeve fishing shirt, I had all the proper attire and all the proper accoutrement. And so I was pretty comfortable, And I'm like, and when the fish happens, it happens so unexpectedly because you're like, buzz. Oh, what was that? Oh, shit, I got something. Oh, God. And so then that kept me going for about another 3 hours, and then finally, boom, got my second one. And then, fuck, I didn't catch another goddamn thing the rest of my time out there. Fuck. Just throw after throw after throw after throw after throw. Nothing. Nothing. And then, like, you know what? You watch comedy movies, and you see somebody, like, standing in a line of fishermen, and he throws it sideways, like, along in front of all the fishers. And you're like, who the fuck would do that? This guy. Because that's exactly what I did. I was sitting on the ground like an asshole. I was sitting on the rocks, and I was trying, I've been doing like this for a while, and for whatever reason, I tried to like sidearm it, and I let go too late, and I just went, Thoom! And it went, it sailed down. I'm damn near lucky I didn't fucking hit somebody in the head. Or not damn near, I'm lucky I didn't hit somebody with it. Or maybe I'll hit somebody like There's Something About Mary. But I did. I launched my shit down in front of everybody's stuff. And then we had to like, try to get me over them without our shit tangling up. And of course it did. I got halfway across and of course fucked up because oh God, I'm sorry. And he's like, no, don't tangle it. Fuck. You tangle it up. Now you... And he was very nice, man. Troy, shout out Troy. Very nice guy, but I'm sure in his head he was like, you fucking moron. What the fuck? What were you thinking? Because I wasn't. I don't know, sometimes in those situations, I'm like, oh God, I'm an idiot. And that's all I'm thinking over and over again is, I'm an idiot. And I'm not thinking about what I'm doing to try and even fix the situation that I did. I'm just thinking like, you idiot. What were you doing? What were you doing? You think you're smart. You're not. I'm not sponsored by 7 Brew, but 7 Brew. 7 Brew is one of those companies that I was like, why would you ever start a coffee chain? You know, you see some markets, I'll get back to the thing, but you see some markets and you're like, nobody would ever start a business in that. Like coffee, I would have assumed people would go, nah, Starbucks and Dunkin' kind of got that covered. But then boom, I see like 3 new coffee chains in my town and my dad's town that I'm like, who the fuck are these people that saw Starbucks, saw Dunkin', that knew all the gas stations had it covered with their coffees and was like, nah, they're doing it wrong. I can do it better. 7 Brew does have that cool thing where they have the drive-thru, where it's like only drive-thru. It's really kind of a sweet setup because they know they're going to have a big drive-thru or line. So they just have this tiny little building and it's basically a shed. And then the rest of the parking lot is all for the line of people that are going to be there. It's kind of brilliant, actually. Maybe that's what they did. They saw what Starbucks and them had, and they were like, nah, I can do that. But there's a different way to do this that's a little bit better. Because everybody's doing drive-thru anyway, so why don't we just get rid of that big old fucking store and just build a little shed? Minimize our overhead costs, keep people rolling, boom, drive-thru's just pumping all day. And they do that Chick-fil-A thing where, like, if you're 6 cars back, there's already somebody at your window taking your order. So that by the time you even get to the window, sometimes before you get to the window, boom, you've got your whole order. See you later, motherfucker. Get out of here. We got shit to do. So I like 7 Brew. It's kind of cool. But it's a market that I would have thought would have been oversaturated. I'm wondering what other markets are at now. I mean, Tesla's the same thing. You look at cars and you go, who the fuck would start a car company right now? Huh? Now look at Tesla. I was thinking that as a kid, like, I'd love to have my own car company. I don't even know why I would like that. But I was like, you can't compete with GM, Chevy, blah, 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 blah. And then boom, now we have like 3-4 new car companies. Only one that competes with those, with Tesla, but it's like, I guess it's not, no idea is really that stupid. It's all about how you do it. Or no idea is not that stupid, I shouldn't say that. Some ideas are that stupid. Some ideas are that fucking stupid. But, I don't know what I'm saying, I guess. If you have an idea for something that even other people are like, what? Just go with it. Just go with it. Because that would have been like, I'm going to start my own drive-through centric coffee shop. You'd be like, no, dude. Dunkin' is like the drive-through coffee. Starbucks is they've got drive-throughs, I think, right? So, no, that's a dumb idea, dude. And he's like, I'm telling you, I'm onto something. And now, look at it. They got fucking hundreds of locations. So, interesting. Where was I? Rocket launch. Fishing. Oh, yeah. So, the fishing thing. So, yeah, I didn't catch shit. I caught 2 fish the whole time I was there. I threw one back because it was I felt bad. I threw this fucker back because it had a broken fin. I'm sure I was on a different conversation that I've now lost. But so I caught 2 fish, and I threw one back, and I think I broke his fin, which I fucking felt bad about. I felt real bad about that. So, yeah, I sucked at fishing, man. Oh, that's what I was saying. So, I fucking threw that shit down the line, crossed it over all theirs, and then he had to spend 15 minutes untangling our lines from each other. I was like, oh my God, you fucking idiot. You idiot. So, yeah, that was something that happened, but it was all good. I didn't do it again, but I even told them right afterwards, I was like, you see movies where guys do that, and you're like, who the fuck would ever be dumb enough to accidentally fuck up and throw your fishing line like the opposite direction, and then bam, daddy went ahead and did that. So that was dumb, but I'm full of at least about 14 dumb things a day that I'll do. So yeah, that was fun though. Went fishing in the ocean, saltwater fishing, caught 1 fish. I'm not even sure what it was, and then they caught another one. They caught a bunch. They were catching like 3-4 fish each. It felt like, even though I think they threw a lot back, but still they were catching a bunch of fish. Not me. Now, I don't know if I was doing it wrong with the pulling it. I don't know. Are you supposed to, like, jerk it, pull, jerk, pull? Are you supposed to throw it and let it sit? Because I swear sometimes they were just letting the pole sit there. And I was like, well, how does the fish ever see the bait out there if it's not moving? So I'd throw it out there. Sometimes I'd, throw in a few of those, like you yank it back. But I'd never just let it sit there. But I don't know. I don't know what the correct procedure is for fishing, what you're supposed to do with that. But, so yeah, I couldn't catch shit. I caught 1 fish that we kept. It was tiny. One of our buddies there caught one that was like yay big. It was like 3 feet long, 2.5 feet long. I was like, God damn, dude. But, yeah, so fishing, I don't know. I don't think it's for me. It was kind of peaceful sitting there first thing in the morning, as the sun was coming up, looking out over the water. There was a giant-ass cruise ship right behind us, which is kind of interesting. But, cost $1 billion to make. I looked it up. But it was nice sitting there looking out over the sun, out over the ocean there. We was on, if you're from Florida, you know where the fuck we were at. We were right by Cape Canaveral. But, yeah, so that was fun. So, but anyways, what else did I do this week? That's about it. Yeah, we had to prepare for the hurricane. I worked every day. I never missed a single day of work because when the hurricane came through, I just went and worked on the other side of the coast. But it kind of worked out. I was a little pissed at my boss because he was like, we're working tomorrow, right? And I was like, God damn it. But then after it was done, I was like, you know what? Good. I'm glad I didn't miss any fucking days because of that hurricane. Because everybody in town, my wife, the kids, they were all out of work. But not old daddy. He out there producing. He out there grinding, baby. But I'll get no appreciation for it because the kids are all selfish pricks that don't appreciate anything because they don't even know to appreciate anything because they've never had anything to have somebody else take and ruin, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, so we had the hurricane came through. That's not a big deal. Hurricanes ain't shit. I mean, if you're getting hit by a hurricane, hurricanes are shit. They definitely are shit. But half the time they just hit up there, they hit outside. I'm used to it. When it's coming through, we just go stay somewhere if it actually comes through our area. Because and it is scary when that happens. Because when the hurricane's coming through your area, like the eye of it, you're like, whoa, someone is gonna die tonight. That's what I always think was scary with like big storms like hurricanes is like there's millions of people watching that thing and hundreds of them don't know that they're going to be dead in just a few hours from that thing that they're sitting there watching on the TV. It's like, fuck. And every time it kills somebody, usually some old bitch, so she probably wasn't even watching anything anyways. But I don't know, it just sucks. So, yeah, it is scary when they're coming through, when you know the eye's going to pass over your town. And like I said, we're in Central Florida, so it's not too bad. By the time it gets to us, it's usually a 1 or a tropical storm anyways. But my dad's friend lived in Central Florida, and he got his roof ripped off back in 2004 when Francis and Charlie came through. Or 2005, whichever it was. 2004 was Katrina. I don't remember if it was the same year as that or not. But anyways, he got his roof ripped off, and he lives dead center of the state. So sometimes they're powerful, even when they get to there. I guess tornadoes are really what you got to worry about, but I don't know. So I kind of slept through most of it because it came through. We were at work, and then like the brunt of it came by the top, or the eye of it hit land Thursday night, and I was in bed watching TV with my wife. It was windy, but nothing scary. 2 years ago, it knocked a tree over in our front yard. Just right over there. You can't see it, but just right there out that window right there. Look, right there. It knocked a tree down, and god damn, it was perfect. It landed right in the yard, didn't fall into the power lines, although I think it did take out the power line. One of the branches clipped it and snapped it, but they came and had that fixed in like an hour. It was actually kind of impressive. And I don't even know how they do it. I guess they cut the power line and like splice in a new line. It was kind of weird how they did it. But anyways, so pause, I'm sweating like a motherfucker. So yeah, tree came down, knocked it out. Boom. Damn near knocked over my tripod, so hopefully it's not fucked up. But anyways, yeah, the tree came down. Yeah, no. Where was I at? I don't know. I was talking about hurricanes. So we had the hurricane this week. That was fun. That wasn't fun. God, I'm such an automatic bitch. Loser. The hurricane came through. That was interesting. I actually do think that's fun. It adds a little spice to life. All of a sudden, you got something you got to worry about. Existential, possibly. It's like this upcoming election. I don't know what's going to happen, but there is a part of me that's like, fuck, shit might pop off. And I hate to say it, but there is a little part of me that's like, oh, shit. Again, this is me talking about a purely hypothetical situation. I'm sure if it actually happened, I would be like, whoa, fuck, can we just please go back to normal? Please? I don't like this. I don't like that. I want my mommy. But, I don't know. Maybe life has just become so boring and I'm so jaded. It's just like, anything. Come on. Drop a nuke. Come on. But, so, when the hurricanes came through, it's always like a little, ooh, fuck. Here we go. Here we go. My spidey senses are tingling. My survival senses are tingling a little bit, but this one wasn't bad. And it kept going further and further and further away from us that I was like, oh, all right. Kind of don't need to worry about it a little bit. But, yeah, so that happened. And then fishing, something that happened that we haven't talked about at all is that Trump got assassinated again. Or they tried to. Again. Except this time, seems like they were paying a little bit more attention. This time, motherfucker couldn't even get his barrel through the fence. It was like a fucking cartoon. It was like, beep. His barrel came through. And then, they unloaded on his ass. They didn't even give him a chance. And he brought a fucking AK, which is kind of silly. Why the fuck? The guy that was trying to snipe him doesn't bring a scope. And then the other guy that was trying to scope him from one hole away brought an AK-4. Why not bring a sniper rifle, you fucking idiots? I don't know. And it seems like the guy that guy, the second assassinator, he camped out overnight. This boy's dedicated. And he's got a weird history with this whole, like, Ukraine thing. He went to Ukraine. Like, that's odd. I don't know anybody that's fucking done that. And I know people that are pretty adamant about the Ukraine war and Israel and the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Fuck. I was going to try to give it a new name, but same one that it's always been. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict. But I don't know anybody that's willing to go to Ukraine or Israel or Gaza or anywhere. So that takes a level of dedication that your average Joe... Well, I mean, I guess so does assassinating the president. We know the boy's dedicated just based on that, right? We didn't need to look into his past. But at least this guy's got a little bit more, it seems like, of a political motivation. That last one, the last presidential assassination attempt that we had... It's crazy that we've had two of these things in a month or 2 months, less than 2 months. It's like this was something that used to be pretty. Some people went their whole lives and didn't see or hear one. And now this guy's had two. But I don't know. It's just weird. It seems like something's getting ready to boil over. I didn't really think there was that many people that... I mean, I knew TDS was real and that there was a lot of fucking idiots out there that get like... I don't know. It's weird. They can't think rationally about anything. You can't point to anything that happened during his presidency, even that was, empirically and objectively good, without them just losing it. My boss said it the best. He's like, because he was blaming Trump for something, and it was so laughable that I was pointing out how laughable it was, and he went, "Could you just let me hate the guy?" And I was like, That's what it is, isn't it? Could you just let me hate the guy? I can't stand him. I just want to hate him. Like, dude, you are taking this way too personal. And I'm a guy that takes politics very serious. And I'm thinking about it all the time. And I'm constantly paying attention to it. However, maybe that's dumb, but I do it. It catches my fancy. And so, I don't know. So, yeah, people are like my boss. Just let me hate him. It's like, God, why do you want to hate? Stop. And then he says, like, it's, you know, he ruined everything because he's on Twitter. And it's like, my boss, he doesn't even go on Twitter. So I'm like, how do you even know what he says on Twitter? Oh, right. Because you watch people that show you every single thing he says on Twitter and flip out about every single thing he says on Twitter. So then you look at that and go like, Jesus, why is he on Twitter? And it's like, he's not even capable of being like, or I shouldn't say him. I'm not saying him, but most people. They watch that, and they don't ever once think like, why are you guys focusing on that? Why the fuck? God, okay, so the guy tweets. Ignore them. Don't pay attention to him. Don't turn everyone into front page news. But they've got everybody so riled up that they're willing to take machine guns and fucking AR-15s and camp out in golf courses for 12 hours overnight to try and kill the guy. And like I said, this time they did act right. This time the guy gets the barrel through, and they were like, boy, not again. Bow, 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 bow. And then the guy ran, and it's just a fucking weird situation. It's crazy that the whole thing is even happening. And I don't know where it's going to go next. Is there going to be more? Like I said, I didn't think people were that riled up. I knew people were riled up. You know, the Sam Harrises of the world that just, they baffle you with their inability to think straight when it comes to Trump. When they're usually pretty rational people, logical. But, so, maybe I wonder if, is there more people out there like that? I do know that I have a lot of friends that are Trump supporter, or not Trump supporters, but Trump haters and you know, rhinos or whatever, Democrats. And they did make a lot of jokes about it. Like, it is a common, like, fuck, sucks that shooter missed, you know, the Kyle Gass joke. I've heard a lot of people make that joke. Kyle Gass was not the only one making that joke. I have heard a lot of people anecdotally in my own life use that joke or something similar of like, why did he miss? Damn it. And then after the second one, like, God, isn't one of these guys going to get him? We just need one of these guys to take him out, and so we're done with the whole situation. And I think that permeates a lot of people. And I think a lot of people just take it. Some people probably take that super serious. And why wouldn't you? I mean, if they have you convinced that the guy is Hitler, what are you going to be, the asshole that let him live? You know, 20 years from now, and they go, why didn't you kill him? Oh, if we had a time machine, we'd go back and kill him now. And you're not doing that? Coward, you know? So, I don't know. It seems like it's kind of, it makes sense why these people are so angry if they've got them that riled up, but I just didn't think people were that riled up. I figured people knew it was, you know, it's politics. It gets ugly sometimes, but, you know, I don't know. I think they have legit half the country, or, I mean, not half the country, but they have a big chunk of this country legit concerned that this guy is like a Hitler-level existential fucking threat. And they can't focus on anything that he does. And it's sort of annoying to see a lot of people kind of doing an about-face on that. Ones that were so anti-Trump during his first term that then have looked at the data and now are a little bit more open to Trump and just ignore his rhetoric. Which is what we were all of his supporters were screaming the entire time. Like, you guys are so hung up on everything that he's talking about. Look at what he's doing. Focus on what he's doing. Focus on what he's doing as the job. Focus on the job. Not what I mean, think about what, maybe it wouldn't be Trump level, obviously, but just, who knows? Maybe it would be. Fuck. Maybe FDR was saying some off-the-wall shit, but we just didn't have a Twitter account, you know? I'm sure he was. I'm sure a lot of those dudes said what we would consider racist fucking shit now. You can't tell me that guys and white dudes in the 40s and 50s and 60s, you know, 30s, 40s, and 50s didn't have, you know, some fucking ass backwards thoughts on race relations. Come on. So imagine if that dude had a Twitter, you know? Imagine if every time one of our presidents had to say something, they had to go chisel it into a stone that was around forever. And we could go back and look at I mean, the founders have like the Federalist documents, but those were like planned, prepared, almost essays, back and forth. But so I don't know. I just think a lot of presidents, if they had Twitter, they would have looked like assholes. Maybe not to the level of Trump, because Trump's a bombastic showman, salesman. Hey, you fired, fucking hey, you out of the deal. But who knows? I remember when I was a kid, we had a thought experiment in class that was like, would you vote for the guy that drinks a quart of whiskey a day? Would you vote for the guy that smokes 2 packs of cigarettes a day and is known to have a little bit of an anger issue? Would you vote for the guy that is an established military veteran, has a blah, 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 blah with the people, and whatever? Would you vote for a guy that had a cocaine habit, or I can't remember what it was? And everybody, of course, said, oh, no, I'd pick the straight-laced military guy with the distinguished veteran record and the charismatic speaker, blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, you just voted for Hitler, and you just didn't vote for FDR, Lincoln, something else. Somebody else. Teddy Roosevelt. It was like, I think Teddy Roosevelt drank a fuckload, and I think FDR did too. Both of them drank. I think FDR was the quart of whiskey a day. I don't know. I'll fact check myself here and let myself know. Interesting to know. But so yeah, I think that they were probably, and just to get to that job, you've got to kind of be a narcissistic scumbag, especially nowadays. So, you've got to be a little bit of a snake, and you've got to be unwilling to answer questions about your bad qualities and upselling your positive qualities. And I wish politics could be a little bit more autistic, and where they were just, I wish we had nothing but autistic people. Maybe that's what we need. Autism's for representation. We need autistic people representing us in Congress, because then they would just have they'd have to tell you the absolute truth, the facts. No, I did not have a great rally. There was only 30,000 people there, and there are records showing that other presidents have had rallies with 60,000. So, no, my rally was about 50% less than the highest ranking rally of all time. So, by any metric, you cannot say I had a great rally. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Maybe there is something to the, like, you need a guy as your head that's a little bit of a salesman. That's a little bit of a, hey, everything's going to be all right, everybody. Let's not worry about it. Let's keep going. We got to keep going. We got to keep going. Even though he just saw the latest report that's like, sir, there's a hole in the boat and it's sinking. And he's still got to go up onto the bow and be like, all right, everybody, let's work together. Let's get those lifeboats in order. Let's go. Single file line, ladies and children. Blah, 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 blah. Even though he knows, you guys are probably all going to fucking die. Probably all going to fucking die and not going to make it. That hole in the bottom of the boat is getting bigger by the second. So we're not only taking on more water, we're taking on more water faster. But he can't come out there and go, everything is fucked. Nothing that you're doing is worth it. It's all futile. Nobody wants a captain that does that. So, a little bit of salesmanship is needed. But I just wish they had maybe, 30% more autism. Our politicians and representatives need, maybe we need a baseline autism. They can't be full fucking Rain Man up there. You can't have a bunch of definitely voting yes on that. But definitely not going to raise taxes. Definitely not going to raise taxes. Democrats suck. We can't have a bunch of fucking Rain Mans up there. But maybe we need to have you need to have at least 30% autism to where you are highly rational, highly logical, and you don't speak in hyperbole. I don't know. Seems like we could use more honesty. I know. Riveting take. I'm thinking of something more serious. Though I passed a Weinermobile on the road the other day, and it got me thinking, who the fuck gets that job? Somebody gets that job. There's somebody out there that gets the Weinermobile gig, and they probably take it very seriously. Like the guy, he's the CEO that's walking around the shop. He's the guy from West Coast Customs. It's a little bit of an asshole, but you kind of get it because that's how he's got to be to get, whoosh, keep the shop in order and keep the people moving. And he's probably like, guys, we got the Weinermobile in 2 weeks, okay? Jeff, I got you on the front of the Wiener. Bob, you're on the back of the Wiener, okay? Ted, I got you on the Oscar Mayer light up sign, all right? Game time, guys. Game Time. This is Oscar Mayer we're talking about, okay? This isn't some podunk shop down the road that wants their truck lifted, all right? We're talking about the Oscar Mayer Weinermobile, okay? Okay? We're talking fandom like we've never seen, okay? This is worldwide brand recognition that we're talking about here, guys. The Weinermobile. I can't believe I'm saying it. I can't believe this shop is responsible for them wieners we see driving around. And they gotta do a lot of work, right? They gotta tear down a vehicle and completely alter it to add that wiener to it. I bet the guy that runs the shop loses sleep over it, you know? He's like, honey, what's wrong? And he's like, I got the guys from Oscar Mayer coming down next week. Oh, that's great. The guys from the Oscar Mayer Weinermobile. Yeah, that's great, Susie. It's not fucking great. Oscar Mayer guys are coming down in 1 week, and I got 2 weeks left to work on that thing. Jeff has not even finished the wiener. There's a big unpainted wiener on that thing right now. It's not even wiener colored. How the fuck am I going to show him, Prima Gray wiener? I don't know. They'll understand. You've made 100 Weinermobiles for them in the past. They know you'll come through. You always come through on the Weinermobiles. I know, Susie. You're always right. That's the only reason I got the Weinermobile, Susie, was because of you. You said, I told you they were out of our league. I told you, hey, somebody will be lucky to get that Oscar Mayer wiener job. And you said, why can't it be you, Frankie? Why can't it be you? And here we are, stressing out about the Oscar Mayer wiener. Look at us. Look at us. Who would have thought it? Not us. Not me. Not me. But, yeah, so it's just funny to think that all the silly things you see that actually still took a lot of planning, someone stressed out about that silly thing. Someone's like, guys, I don't know if we have the numbers to do any more Weinermobiles. We are maxed out on Weinermobiles, and we haven't paid off the last 3. No more Weinermobiles. What the fuck are we even building these things for? The only way you see it is if you're driving on a highway. What the hell? Let's just put a billboard up. I don't know. Another thing I saw the other day was that, god damn, I talked about this a few episodes ago about just old people being born at the turn of the century and just all the change that they got to see. I saw an interview the other day. Well, I didn't get to see it because the lady was fucking French. But the oldest person to ever live documented, because there's some people that claim to be like 140 or whatever. I think there's a couple ones that are like, no, he's 180, but it's always from some fucking podunk, shithole country down south that, well, I mean, this is written in crayon, okay? I don't think this was notarized, but I don't think this is a census. But this lady has official census records from the age of 1 on until, I don't know, like age 120. But she lived to be 122. And I don't have my tablet in front of me because the tablet broke. That's another thing. My fucking kid broke my tablet. So I'm getting that fixed this week. And then guess who's not allowed to ever touch the tablet again? And so the oldest lady in the world, she was like Jean Clemence Clement. That's what I remember her last name was. And I'm sure she had a Jean in there because they all do. But she lived to be 122. 122? What the fuck? That's fucking insane. She outlived her son and her grandkid. I don't know if it was a kid or a girl. But fuck. And I think her son lived to be 95. Jesus. Imagine that. Imagine you hit 100 and you're like, holy shit, I made it to 100. And you live for 22 more years. God damn, 22 years ago, I was 17. That lady, when she died 22 years ago, I was 100. Her first photo was in 1897 when she was 22. And her last photo was in 1997 at age 122. That is fucking bananas. She said she met Van Gogh, which, You know how those fucking Frenchies like to lie. But, I don't know. Maybe she did. She said she met him. It's one of those stories like, oh, yeah, he came into my shop. I swear it was him. But who fucking knows? He didn't have a phone. He wasn't like, hey, I'm here with fucking what's-her-name, you know? So, might have been a guy that just fucking looked like Van Gogh and was a little bit of a prick. Did he come in with the ear thing on? How did you know it was him? Might have been just some fucking random redhead. But let's take her at her word. She said she met Vincent Van Gogh, and she died in 97 while Bill Clinton was president. And she met Van Gogh. She was born with parents. I mean, she probably knew people that were in the Civil War or had uncles. Nah, she was French. Still, she was born right after the Civil War and lived to be till I was 10 years old. Fuck. They said she used to cover herself in olive oil day, which, what if that was the secret? If we all just fucking lathered up in olive oil every day, we'd all live to be centurions. But so, yeah, she smoked cigarettes till she died. Always smoked a cigarette after her meals, smoked one in the morning or something like that. She had like a real like regiment to her daily ritual. She was very regimented with her ritual. She was ritualistic with her regiment. But she would lather up head to toe, stem to sternum, even in where the sun don't shine. She would that's what she said. She would, well, first, I lather myself up in olive oil. Which, fuck, that lady must have smelled funky. But, so she would lather herself up in olive oil, and then she would smoke a cigarette, take a bong rip, and thank God. She would thank God every morning, they said, but she would also, they could hear her audibly asking him, why am I still here? You have to feel like at that point, I mean, you start thinking about death around, what, 60, probably, if you're healthy? And then 70 hits. And you're like, all right. And then 80 hits, and you're like, all right, here we go. And then 90, and you're like, God damn, I am a 90-year-old person. I made it to 90. I'm never going to make it to 100. There's no way I'm going to make it to 100. And then year by year, like, oh, fuck. Little did that bitch know after she hit 100, she had 2 more fucking decades left in her. And seemed pretty spry. And it really looks like once you hit to be about 80, you really get to be about as bad as you're going to get on the, like, it seems like it's like great, 50s, 60s, you start to wrinkle, 70s, 80s, 90s, and then by 100, you're just like, what? But then it seems like it kind of leveled off. She plateaued, and she just looked like a regular 100. I bet people saw her and they went, damn, this lady looks good for her age. 120, you say? You look to be about 100. Oh, 120, you don't look a day over 110. Fuck. 120? God damn, that bitch could marry a 100-year-old, and he'd be 20 years younger than her. She'd be a cradle snatcher marrying a 100-year-old. Marrying a 100-year-old. Fuck. If she had kids, if she had kids at 15, and then every one of their kids had kids at 15, she could be like a great person by the time she died. But I think she actually only had a kid, and they had a kid, and then her grandkid died early, and then they never had another kid, so that was the end of her lineage. So whatever the fuck she had in her genes, no one's ever gonna get again. So savor that flavor, kids, because it sure as hell won't happen again. Although there is that Japanese island where there's like more octogenarians or more centurions that live there. Centenarians that live to be 100 there than anywhere. But fuck, 122. God damn, that's crazy. I mean, think about 40 years, and that bitch made it 40 years after 80. Like, fuck. I'm not even at 40 yet. And if she was born... Oh my God, that's just insane to think that I would have 90 more years left. Not 60, not 50, 40 is what I probably give myself. But 90 more years. God damn, lady. And documented, like I said, she just happened to be born the year of a census. So they've got documented, boom, she was born this year. She is 1 year old, and then... all the way up to 122. And her first picture is kind of crazy. It's like clearly 1800s. She had to stand there like this probably for like a fucking day. Because it was like paintings back then. It was like, poof. You had to stand there for 20 seconds. And then her newest picture, she's like, giving an interview. But, I mean, she probably did, like I said, when she's asking God every day, why am I still here? She had to have felt like, am I ever going to die? The day before she died, she probably thought, I'm never going to die. And then the next day, dead. How did Grandma die? Oh, that's right. She was 122. Fuck. Jesus Christ, 122. I'm sorry I keep saying it, but it's just so fucking insane that she lived like 40 years longer than the average person does. She lived 50% longer. Like, she lived an entire life past her life. It's fucking insane. She could live 61 years, and you're like, that's a good life. That's a pretty decent life. And she made it. I bet when she hit 60, she was like, well, I probably got another 10, 15 to go. Here we go. And then little did she know she was only halfway there. Fuck. And I guess she had like some cool deal worked out where when she was like 70, she didn't pay rent for some place because she was like, I'm going to die soon. And they're like, yeah, that's true. Or maybe she might have been like 90, I think, even, or something. 95. And she was like, I'll sign a lease where I don't pay rent for the time that I live here until I'm dead. And he was like, yeah, sure thing. And then she lived there for like 30 fucking years, 25 years longer, 27 years after that. And I think he died before she even croaked finally. Damn. Just insane. That is a long, because I just think about 22 years ago, I'm like, oh, that was so long ago. And to think that you still have 80, 90 more years of memories on top of that is just fucking bonkers. I don't know. I think I might start lathering myself up in olive oil starting tomorrow. So, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Big bucket of win for that lady, as Kevin Smith used to say. Big bucket of win. But anyways, I think that's going to do it for this week's episode. That's episode number 25, 24. I'm not even really sure. Like I said, I got 2 extra episodes that I think I'm going to get rid of because, I don't know, I wasn't happy with them. And, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just going through a little bit of a depression right now, so I've been, like, not motivated to do a lot of stuff. But, I don't know. I feel a lot better this week, and getting out and having a little bit of a vacation this weekend was good for me, I think. So, yeah, I'm going to try to get back into the swing of things this week and get back on it, baby. But, yeah, I think that's going to be it for this day's episode. So, thank you guys for all listening and all the support you guys. Thanks for all the shares, the likes, all that shit, and all my stories and all that. I really appreciate it. Love you guys. Bye.